Hi guys, so what I wanted to do is just show you what that sort of passive release, that position we can get our body into, where we can sort of take tension away from the muscles that might be causing us a bit of that hip clunking and snapping when we do our movement. So I've got some bits and pieces here with me. Probably best to just grab a load of cushions. You can have a half roller, some yoga blocks, the red ball, a bolster. But the aim here is to bolster up our head, neck and shoulders when we're lying down on our back. And also have something to sort of bolster up our knees, sort of just a nice sort of cushion to put underneath our knees to try and create, again, this kind of release around muscles that might be attached to our rib cage area and then also sort of down in our hips. So I'm going to get myself into that position and then I'll talk you through again what we're trying to sort of achieve with this position and just the fact that actually once you're there, you're probably doing it right if you feel nothing. This is essentially what this is going to aim to look like, but everybody is slightly different. But if you'd like to try this release position, gather your bits and pieces, do the bolstering at the head, neck and shoulders, bolster under your knees, and then just wiggle around until you can, with your hands just maybe at the bottom of your rib cage and on the bony bits at the front of your pelvis there, just see if we can begin to relax and have them come to a leveled out position in a way where I'm not putting in any effort to do that, that they're just naturally falling in line with the bolstering at the top and bottom. And once you feel as though you might have achieved that, all we do is rest and release and aim to feel nothing in this sort of position. Okay, so we're going to start with a half kneeling position. And once we're here, making sure that we can see our foot here, we've got our heel in line with our knee. Our legs are wide enough as well, so we're not trying to do this on a tightrope. We're not trying to challenge our balance here. And again, my knee is underneath my hip. One hand on belly, one hand on lower back. And again, just try to work that pelvis into neutral, keeping the shoulders and the head and the neck as relaxed as you can, just until you begin to feel a sensation here in the top of the thigh and up through the front of the hip as we stretch. And you can stay here just at this level if that's enough stretch for you. Or what we can do is keeping the tailbone tucked, we can just bring the body forward just a wee bit, again, feeling that sensation maybe increase at the top of our thigh and up through the front of our hip. Now what we want to try to avoid is untucking and going fully forward, which is just a different type of movement or stretch. But here we're trying to sort of dig deep and keep this focused. So we want to tuck the tailbone under, keep that pelvis in neutral, and then send our weight forward just an inch or so until again you begin to feel that stretch there. The other thing we can do to level up this stretch is go ahead and feel like you're trying to bring your heel towards your bottom knee. And again, nothing moves here. It's just that sensation as we try to drive those 2 points closer together on the mat. And again, that might feel an increase in the sensation and the stretch there for you. The other thing we can do is with this bottom, with this knee bent, take that same arm up and thinking about lifting up and over, again, trying to move the body, the upper half of the body, like it's between two panes of glass. We're going to bring a little side bend in here, and that will increase the stretch again from our knee right up through the top of the thigh and into the front of the hips, even up to the lower rib cage here. So again, trying to hold these stretches for a minimum of 30 seconds up to a minute. Find where it has different levels like that. Go ahead and just find whichever level is giving you that strong stretching sensation, that the level that you want it to be at. You don't have to work yourself all the way up there. So you take that one in your own pace. The other one we can do is lying down on our back. We are going to have both of our legs long and just wiggle it out as always. Bring the right knee in towards the chest, just floating that above the hip, maybe a little closer. so that we can actually reach over with our opposite hand and just begin to draw that knee across the body. Now you'll find a point here where we're aiming to sort of dig deep and feel a bit of stretch in our piriformis. So that's just kind of in the back of the upper thigh, maybe just in where you sort of have a bum crease if you were standing up, maybe at the bottom of your sit bones a bit there. And we just want to again find if we can connect that little muscle there and sort of get that stretch. Now we don't want to pull the body all the way over. Again, we're just doing a different stretch, but the aim here is to sort of keep this hip planted down as we bring the knee across. And maybe we need to bring the knee a little closer into our body, maybe a bit further away. Almost play around with that until you find that sensation, that stretch. And again, 30 seconds to a minute holding that. And as I should say, make sure to do both sides for all of this. Then the other thing we can do is bringing back in a bolster or a roller or something to just put underneath the bottom of your pelvis. We can bring both knees up. Keep one knee drawing in and reach up and hold that with your hands, and the other leg starts straight up towards the ceiling. So this is kind of the start position for this stretch. Keeping this knee drawing in towards your chest, holding it there. We just keep the other leg straight and send it down and away from us, just to that point where we feel as though we're getting that full stretch. Again, from the bottom of the rib cage, right across the front of the hip and on down. And we don't want to cheat by trying to just touch our toes and bend our knees. Keep the legs straight and just sort of let gravity and weight do its thing here. Again, trying to keep the head, neck, and shoulders relaxed. Just find that sort of stretch and holding it. Again, I'll switch it up to the other side so you can see. You can also do this if you've got a bed that's raised up, obviously off the ground. You can lie on the edge of the bed and just let one leg hang off the edge of the bed. But again, keeping the legs straight and just sort of finding that point where we can get this full stretch. And finally, guys, what we're going to do is a glute stretch. So bring your right knee in towards your chest, externally rotate in your hip there so that we can place our right ankle on the top of our left thigh. And again, just try to settle the back of the pelvis, hips are level at the front, and send that knee away from you. Again, this might actually give you a stretch you're aiming for, and if that feels good and you want to hang out there, you can. Otherwise, what we can do is bring our left leg in and reach up to hold behind the left thigh. And settle into a deeper glute stretch, again, looking for that area around the back and the sides of the thigh and up through the glute. And you can hold here. Now, if this is making your head, neck, and shoulders come up, you can either bolster your head, neck, and shoulders, or again, let go, maybe use a strap or a band or something that holds that shape in towards you at a level where you're feeling the stretch, but you're not putting any strain anywhere else in the body. And again, you can play around with your feet here. You can point the toes, you can flex the feet. You could even throw in a little ankle roll here while you're stretching. Why not? And then, of course, coming out of a deep stretch like this, just go through the process, go slowly, put the foot down, take the leg out of the way, and make sure you do both sides. Okay, I think that's it for the stretches, guys, and thanks for watching.